Welcome back with the next chapter 10, Respiration in Organisms. Why do we respire? We respire to get energy from food. Food contains stored energy. When we respire, the food is broken down in the cells of our body with the help of oxygen and energy is released. So, what is respiration? Respiration releases energy to be used in life process. For example, in plants, glucose is produced during photosynthesis process. This energy is released from cell by a series of chemical reaction called respiration. Similarly, we need energy to walk, run, climb the stairs, etc. We require energy even when we are talking, eating, reading, writing, or sleeping. The process like digestion of food, movement of ribs and diaphragm during breathing, etc., which take place inside our body also needs energy for their proper working. In fact, we need energy to perform all the activities in our life. We get this energy from the food which we get. So, respiration is the process by which food, that means glucose, is broken down in the cells of the body with the help of oxygen to release energy. Since respiration takes place in the cells of the body, it is called cellular respiration. So, here that example, that is glucose when react with oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide, water and energy. Types of respiration. There are two types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is the respiration in which glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide, water, and energy, and it takes place in most of that organism. Second one is that anaerobic respiration is the respiration in which glucose is broken down in the absence of oxygen to release alcohol, carbon dioxide, and energy. And it takes place in each cell. Have you ever felt in your muscles while playing for an unusually long time? Say after a game of basketball. Your body and muscles require a lot more energy than your usual level during such activities. Muscles of your legs and arms move continuously when exercising, and that oxygen supply is unable to meet up with that demand. Then they start with that anaerobic process, and lactic acid is produced in the cell. This accumulated acid causes pain in that muscles, and this process can be summarized that glucose in the absence of oxygen it will form lactic acid and energy. Breathing. Breathing is the process in which air moves in and out of the lungs or through other respiratory organs such as gills. In breathing process, oxygen is taken inside and carbon dioxide is given out. It involves exchange of gases. Different animals breathe in different ways. In multicellular leeches and earthworms, the exchange of gases occurs through their moist and slimy skin. In unicellular amoeba, that the exchange of gases occurs through their entire surface of body, that is skin. Frogs to breathe through their skin, fish breathe through their special organs called that gills, while the insects breathe with the help of trachea. Mammals, reptiles, and birds breathe through their lungs. In mammals, breathing in or inhaling is due to the contraction and flattening of the diaphragm. A demand muscles or that the separate thorax and abdomen. And the plants breathe through their pores called stomata, which is present in their leaves. Breathing is a process during which air rich in oxygen is taken in and air rich in carbon dioxide and water vapor is given out. The intake of the air rich in oxygen is called inhalation, and the giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide is called exhalation. Breathing is a continuous process and occurs throughout the life of all organisms. Next is that breathing rate. During breathing, inhalation and exhalation occurs alternatively and continuously. Basically, one breath means one inhalation and one exhalation. The number of times a person breathes in 1 minute is called the breathing rate. Normal breathing rate is 12 to 20 breaths per minute. During running or heavy exercise, the rate of breathing may increase up to 35 to 40 breaths per minute. Breathing rates differ from time to time. Age is also one of the factors affecting that breathing rate. How do we breathe? The respiratory system help in breathing. The main part of the respiratory systems are nostril, nasal cavity, windpipes, lungs, and diaphragm. Breathing involves the rib cage and the muscular sheath below the chest cavity called diaphragm. During inhalation, that means in breathing in, the chest cavity increases in size and the diaphragm moves down and air enters into the lung. During exhalation, breathing out, the chest cavity reduces in size and the diaphragm moves up and air is pushed out of the lung. The human respiratory system. In human beings, breathing begins with the nostril, which is the gateway of the air into our body. The air rich in oxygen is taken into the body through the nostril. When we breathe in air, it contains dust and other foreign particles too. The inner lining of the nose is constantly secreting mucus, which traps these dust particles. The hairs present in the inner lining also help in trapping the dust. In this process, air becomes warm. The air is now comparatively warm, moist, and clean. It reaches a small tube called pharynx. From here, it goes into trachea or windpipe, and the trachea then branches into two thin tubes called bronchi, which leads into the lungs. Larynx, which is a voice box, is situated between the pharynx and trachea. Larynx is a small air passage formed by cartilage. The two folds of tissue present in produce the sound. Inside the lungs, the bronchi divides into smaller tubes called bronchioles. Air on passing through that bronchioles reaches tiny sac called alveoli, and in singular it is we called as alveolus. Each alveolus is surrounded by millions of tiny blood muscles, that means blood vessels. The oxygen from the alveoli enters the blood through these blood vessels. The oxygen present in the air combines with the hemoglobin present in the blood to form a oxyhemoglobin, which is carried to all the cells of the body. The reverse process is followed by carrying away the carbon dioxide from the body.